Hello everyone and welcome. I am Madhukar and I'm thrilled to have you join me today for this session. Deep dive into AWS Well-Architected Framework. In today's rapidly evolving cloud landscape, right? It's super important to ensure that your AWS workloads are not just only functional, but they are truly optimized as well. We are talking about performance, security, and cost efficiency all working in harmony. We are going to explore how AWS Well-Architected Framework can be your guide to achieving that excellence. We will be dividing into practical strategies and real-world examples today. Okay, and something about us, right? Pay System Solutions. We are a product engineering firm based out of Bangalore, and we are a AWS Advanced Tier Partners as well. We have a proven track record of optimizing businesses like yours to secure and scale your AWS environment. Today, we are going to talk about AWS Well-Architected Framework, and the goal is to show why it is critical for a robust, scalable, and cost-effective cloud solutions. Let's get started. Now that you know what we are aiming for, right? Let's look at our agenda for today. So I structured this session as informative as possible now. So first, I'll brief about our Spacing solution in a bit more detail, and so that you can understand our approach to cloud optimization and other points, right? And as a AWS Advanced Tier Partner, we have been helping our customers in building a robust, scalable, and cost-effective solutions, right? So next we'll get into the heart of this particular discussion, the AWS Well-Architected Framework. We'll define what it is, why it matters, and what problems it solves. This is very crucial for building robust, scalable, and cost-effective cloud solution, and it goes beyond simply best practices. And at last, we will walk through each steps, the framework overview, the 6 pillars, review process, and what's their benefits and everything, right? And by the end of the session, you will have a clear understanding and roadmap for applying the AWS Well-Architected Framework to your own workloads. Before we dive into solutions, right, let's all acknowledge that the common challenges most of the organizations face in the cloud. These are the pain points that Well-Architected Framework is designed to address. First is about the cost. This is a big one, right? Cloud costs can quickly go out of control if it's not managed carefully. So you can end up getting unexpected expenses because of resource over provisioning, or without proper planning, or without being properly monitored and everything, and so on. So that's a very interesting and very challenging task many organizations face, right? So just wanted to understand who is here, who is being surprised by their AWS cloud bill. So it's a common experience, and we want to help you to avoid that, right? So second point is about security, super important, right? So AWS cloud offers multiple robust security tools, but they need to be configured, managed correctly. Potential weak points in your cloud infrastructure can leave you vulnerable to attacks and data breaches. I wanted to emphasize that keeping your environment secure is always a continuous process. It never ends. Next is about performance bottleneck, right? Even with the scalability in the cloud, slowdowns in cloud-based applications are super common, right? It's always another very critical challenge many organizations face. From slow response time or sudden outright outages, it will end up severely impacting the user experience and business continuity, right? These three challenges, cost, security, and performance bottlenecks, are interconnected. Yes, poor architecture can lead to higher cost, increased security risk, and performance problem. As simple as that. So, how do we tackle those challenges we just discussed, right? So the answer is AWS Well-Architected Framework. So I don't want you guys to feel this is just a document. So let's consider it as a set of guiding principles and best practices developed by AWS. So they did it based on their years of experience, and they would have helped thousands of customers over the years to build a successful cloud solutions, right? So this is where AWS Well-Architected Framework is right now. Let's break it down. What makes it so valuable? First, it's a proven methodology. The framework provides structured approach to building a secure, high-performing infrastructure on AWS. It's all, you all aware of that, right? It's not a guesswork. It's based on real-world experience and proven partners. It is designed to help you build and deploy better cloud solutions. Next is about AWS experience, right? It leverages lots of experience. The framework is constantly updated based on the years of customer insights and evolving best practices. It's a living document that stays current with the latest cloud innovations. Next point is about the consistency approach, right? So what happens is this particular framework is provides a common language and set of criteria for evaluating and adapting architectures over time. It is designed to ensure consistency and quality in your AWS deployment, right? So this means less confusion, fewer errors, and better collaboration across your teams and everything, right? Now that we know what it is and why it is important, let's dive into the 6 pillars that form the foundation of this framework, right? So this particular framework rests on 6 core pillars, right? These pillars represent key areas of focus when designing, building, and operating your cloud workloads. Let's quickly touch on each pillars before we dive deeper into them, right? So first is security. So it's all about protecting your information and assets, implementing strong identity and access management, and ensuring data privacy. Second is operation excellency, running and monitoring system efficiency, automating processes, and continuously improving operations is what it talks about. And next is reliability. It talks about ensuring your system that can recover from failures, automatically scale to meet the demand, and maintain the consistent performance. Next is about performance efficiency. Using resources efficiently, selecting the right instance type, and optimizing your application for the peak performance matters, right? That's about this, right? Next point is about cost optimization. It's a well known. Avoiding unnecessary cost, right sizing resources, and continuously monitoring and optimizing your spending matters here. And next is about sustainability. It's about minimizing environment impacts, reducing the energy consumptions, and leveraging the cloud technologies to build a more sustainable products. So let me say that these pillars are not independent, right? They are interconnected and should be considered holistically when architecting your cloud solutions. In the upcoming slide, we will explore each pillar in more detail. So it will eventually provide more practical guideline and best practices for implementations. Let's get to it. Operational excellence. This particular pillar is all about how you run and monitor your system to deliver a proper business value and continuously improve the processes, right? Operational excellence allows you to innovate faster, reduce errors, and adapt to change more easily. Here are some key areas to consider, as I mentioned in the presentation, right? First one is the automate changes, right? This means that using infrastructure as a code, CloudFormation or Terraform, there are multiple tools which is available to execute these operations, right? So these kind of tools allows you to define your infrastructure in code, and it makes it more repeatable, and you can enable versioning, and tomorrow when there is audits, you can enable it for auditing as well, right? So manual configurations are usually error prone, and it's super difficult to manage a scale, right? That's the point number one. So next point I want to discuss about the respond to events. You really need to have a robust monitoring and alerting in place. So there are tools like CloudWatch and a few other tools, right? These tools allows you to productively identify and address issues before they impact you or your users, right? Third one is defining standards. Comprehensive documentation and runbooks are super essential, right? So this is a main point which many organizations miss. These documents provide us clear guidelines and common tasks, and it ensures that it can help you to do troubleshooting, and also may help you to do incident response and everything, right? So who is here currently using infrastructure code or proper comprehensive monitoring tools in their AWS environments? Let me know in the comments. Great. So next, let's dive into second pillar, security. See, in the cloud, right, security is everyone's responsibility. It's not just about protecting data, right? It's about building trust and ensuring business continuity. The security pillar provides guidance on how to protect your information and assets while taking advantage of cloud technologies. Here are some of the important key areas to consider in security, right? First point is IAM, Identity and Access Management. It's a well-known tools in AWS, right? So you should essentially implement strong IAM policy, security roles, and MFA, which is multi-factor authentication to control the access to your resources. One very important thing I would like to say is it is very important to put a very least privilege access to your users. Only grant the minimum permission required for each users or for specific services. Next is detective controls, right? So you should use services like CloudTrail or AWS Config to monitor your AWS environment for suspicious activity and any configurational change. These tools will really help you to quickly identify any threats and respond to the specific security incidents. Next is infrastructure protection, a very important point, right? So using VPCs, security groups, helps you to isolate the resources and control network traffic. Another interesting tool is WAF, Web Application Firewall, right? It can protect your web application from common attacks. Next point is data protection. So protecting your data at rest and in transit using encryption is important, right? There are tools in AWS which is available, key management services and secret management tools. Let's talk about reliability. So reliability is not just about avoiding failures, okay? It's about ensuring your system that can recover quickly from failures and continue operate as expected. That's the main point about reliability. This particular pillar provides guidance on how to design and build a resilient system that can withstand these kind of disruptions and make sure it meets your business requirements. So let me talk about some key areas here, right? Failure management. So design your system such a way that is fault tolerant. Use multi-AZ, multi-region deployments to ensure that there is a high availability. Also implement automated failure mechanism to minimize the downtime, which is a key in this particular segment, right? Next is about change management. So change management is about implementing robust monitoring and alerting to detect and respond issues quickly, okay? Use automated rollbacks procedures to revert to a known good state in case of there is a failure, right? Next point is about foundation. So understand your service limits and design your network topology carefully to avoid bottlenecks and single point of failures, right? Reliability requires a holistic approach, surrounding with infrastructure, application, code, as well as operation processes, right? Let's proceed to discuss about performance efficiency. This particular pillar is all about using resources effectively and optimizing your application for peak performance. See, in the cloud, right, you have a wide range of instance type, storage solutions, and different database services to choose from, right? Selecting the right resources from your cloud is very critical for both performance and cost. So in this particular pillar, let's explore some key considerations, right? First point is compute. When considering compute resources, you need to carefully select the right instance type for your workload, right? So maybe for an example, use services like ECS or EKS to orchestrate containers and optimize resource utilization. Next is storage. So choose the right storage solution for your data, considering factors like performance, cost, and durability. If you take an example, S3 is great for object storage, EBS for a block storage, and EFS for a shared file systems. Now, when you talk about database, there are multiple services in AWS which offers, right? RDS, Aurora, and DynamoDB. They all offer a range of options for different types of data and different workloads. You should optimize the database schema queries and indexing for a maximum performance, it is a non-factor, right? Next point is about networking. So you should make use of services like CloudFront for a CDN for improved performance and reduced latency to ensure that the users all around the world are able to use your application smoothly with a good performance and latency. So let's move to our next pillar, cost optimization, which is a popular one, right? Cost is a critical consideration in the cloud, right? Optimizing the cost is not just about saving money. It's about maximizing the value you get from the cloud investments, right? This particular pillar gives a guidance on how to avoid unnecessary cost and use the right size resources and continuously monitor and optimize your spending, right? So some key strategies under this particular pillar, right? Expenditure awareness. So you should use tools like Explorer, budgets, and usage reports to gain a visibility into your AWS spending, right? Also set up alerts to ensure that you don't get into unexpected cost increase. Next point is about the cost effectiveness resources. You should leverage reserved instances and saving plans to reduce the cost of your overall compute resources. Evaluate the cost effectiveness of different instance type and storage options, okay? And matching the proper supply and demand, right? So what happens is you should use the auto scaling services to automatically adjust your compute capacity based on the demand. Right size resources is to avoid over provisioning. So let's talk about optimizing over time, right? So this is a main topic which a lot of organizations miss, right? Regularly review your AWS environments and eliminate unused resources. Identify and address cost inefficiencies. Let's move into last topic of the pillar is sustainability, right? This particular pillar is about minimizing the environment impacts of running the cloud workloads, okay? In today's world, sustainability is becoming very important. What happens is by leveraging cloud technologies, right, we can reduce energy consumption, minimize the waste, and build more sustainable solutions. So here are some key areas to be considered, right? So it is important to check your AWS usage by using tools such as AWS Consumer Carbon Footprint tool, right? So once you establish your impact, you can track your sustainability progress easily. And let's talk about maximize utilization. Reducing energy consumption is one of the very important thing to do here right now, right? You can achieve this energy efficiency by using properly sized resources and using automated solution to turn off the resources when it's not in use. Let's talk about adopt efficiency. Adopt efficiency is another strategy to follow, right? So you should focus on the latest, newest hardwares offered by AWS, right? AWS is continuously improving the energy efficiency of their hardware. This really helps on overall sustainability, right? So these were the 6 pillars of AWS Well-Architected Framework. So I think it is important to move on to the review process. Now that we covered the 6 pillars, right, let's discuss how to put the well-architected framework into action. Right? This particular process is structured approach for evaluating your existing workloads and identifying the areas for improvements. So let's break down these steps, right? Number 1 is define scope. So start by defining the scope of the review. So first identify the specific workload you want to evaluate. So what I generally see is that it's good to start with the most critical or a high risk applications. That's safe to start with, right? Second point is about the gather information. So it is important to understand the architecture, design, and the operations of your workload and everything, right? It is important to collect the relevant documentation, diagrams, and performance of the data. Next point is about the conduct review. We have a tool under AWS, it's called AWS Well-Architected tool. So this particular tool provides a structured questionnaire based on these 6 pillars what we discussed, right? Answer the questions honestly and thoroughly to identify the potential risk and area for improvement. And Next point is about the implement improvements, right? Based on the finding of the review tool, implement the right improvements to address the particular risk and optimize your workload, right? This may involve re-architecting specific components or updating the security roles or controls or optimizing specific resource utilization. By the way, Pace Wisdom, we can help you with this particular implementation as well, right? Next point is about the identify risk. Detailed report with actions. Then you can do the specific review, right? So overall, I would like to say that well-architected review process is not just a one-time event, right? It's an iterative process. Regularly review your workloads to ensure they remain aligned with the best practices and continue to meet your business requirements. Let's see the benefits of the all of this particular following process, right? So, what are the benefits of conducting a well-architected review? You must be thinking about this, right? So, here are the summary of the key advantage what I can think of right now, right? Uh, Point number one is reduce cost. This will help you to reduce the cost. By optimizing the resource utilization and by eliminating the waste, right, you significantly lowering your AWS spending. We can help you identify the area where you are over provisioning or using inefficient services. Next is about the improved security. So by addressing the security vulnerabilities and implementing the best practices, you really reduce the risk of breaches and protect your valuable data, right? We can provide the expert guidance on security controls and compliance requirements. Next is about the enhanced performance, right? By optimizing your architecture and resource allocation, you overall will see the improved application performance and deliver a better user experience, right? So overall, I would like to say that partnering with Pace Wisdom for your well-architected review offers definitely greater benefits. Our expertise and experience can help you to accelerate review process, identify hidden risk, and implement the right solutions, right? We bring decent knowledge and have proven records of helping businesses optimizing their AWS environments, specifically using a well-architected framework. So I see one question that says, how does a well-architected review framework work? And what kind of immediate benefits can I expect after conducting one, right? So essentially what happens is this particular AWS review is a structured approach to evaluate your AWS workloads, right? So we essentially define a specific scope, we gather the right information, conduct the review, and share the immediate risk for you. And what I can say about immediate benefits, right? We can immediately get a right risk information, what exactly your current infrastructure is present, right? And we give a specific recommendation, and then I can say that we can plan a right roadmap to execute the specific requirement. Yeah, that's the answer for this particular question, right? So I see one interesting question here. What should I tell my finance director to convince him to try Pace Wisdom and well-architected AWS framework, right? So a very interesting question. So essentially for a financial director, right, for him cost matters, right? Even a 5% reduction in the overall AWS cost is a big difference for the finance team. I think essentially for this specific question, you can easily close your eyes and commit 5% or more reduction in the overall AWS spend. In case if you haven't done this particular exercise before, right? That's a beauty of this particular platform review. So there is another interesting question here. Why do I need Pace Wisdom to implement a well-architected framework, and why can't I do it on my own? This is an interesting questions. What happens is that AWS well-architected framework can be only accessible by a advanced tier AWS partners, right? That's the differentiation what we try to provide. So I hope I have addressed all your queries here. In case if you have any other queries, or if you're watching this in the later in the stage, feel free to send an email to me or send a LinkedIn message as well. And my LinkedIn details as well as my email ID is mentioned in this particular screen. And thanks a lot for joining this session. Bye-bye.